Yes, yes. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. I gotta say, big ups, hailings to Kareem. It's good to have you back. It's good to have Kareem back. You guys know I was holding on for a while. Kareem was not here, but we're good to have you back, my bro. And yeah, so that I don't have to come to work early. I can stay in my bed on a Saturday morning. I'm my show. I'm so excited. I don't know about anybody else, but I am excited that Kareem is back in the place. People, hello. Okay. But welcome to Sports Talk right here on Love 101 FM. We do this every Saturday between the hours of 1 to 2 p.m. And of course, if you'd like to join into the conversation, you can do so at 876-997-3125. Or you can join us on Love 101 FM on Facebook and YouTube. Of course, we give you everything sports, all sports as best as possible. We do that here. And you guys know, I'm always excited. Okay, yeah, because why am I not? Okay, because I was like, well, I'm not hearing the music. But we have quite a few things to talk about this week. West Indies is currently facing in England, I almost said in India, but England in the second ODI happening in Antigua. Then we have to talk about the Jamaica Premier League. We'll also have to talk about what, Cavalier and their going to the Caribbean Cup final and, their achievements. Obliterating Mocha FC, if you asked me. And then we got to talk about the English Premier League because I see some results from the English Premier League this morning. I'm like, what is happening? Right. And then schoolboy football, people. Schoolboy football is schoolboy footballing. We have lost many time champions in this round of 16. And I want to talk about some because is to have some answers for me because I don't know the format of schoolboy football. I know I wasn't gonna say anything, but no, yeah, man, I have to say something. But stick around to hear my thoughts on that. So I'm so excited to share with you, all the happenings as it relates to sports. And boy, oh boy, if you again, you can download our Love 101 FM app in the App Store, Love 101 FM Jamaica, and in the Google Play Store, Love 101 FM Jamaica, where you can listen to Sports Talk and any other program that comes on the family station, Love 101 FM. And we're gonna get right into things. All right, we're gonna be talking about English Premier League because, as I said, some shots were fired. Let me not say that. But yeah, some things happened in the English Premier League this morning, and we're gonna talk about that because what is happening? It is now round 10. Just in case you're wondering, it is round 10 of the English Premier League, and we're gonna give you the results early this morning. Newcastle defeated Arsenal by 1-0. Boy. Yeah, hello to all my Arsenal fans out there. Daniel Blake especially. Southampton defeated Everton 1-0. Ipswich and Leicester, they played to a 1-1 draw. Let me just turn this. Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, man. Better. Nottingham Forest, they defeated 10-men West Ham by 3-0. Liverpool, they were 2-1 winners over Brighton. Bournemouth, they defeated Manchester City 2-1. It's currently 0-0 between Wolves and Crystal Palace. And closing out the end of round 10 in the English Premier League, tomorrow we'll see Tottenham taking on Aston Villa, and that goes off at 9 a.m. And Manchester United plays Chelsea, and Fulham plays Brentford. People, Okay, so we're not going to talk about the Manchester United Chelsea game, and I'm not. You know what? Let me not celebrate that. My North Londoners are there. Yes, Arsenal have lost this morning because I know my side will have to play Manchester United tomorrow. But okay, that's all I have to say. We don't celebrate until the round has ended because we know how it can be. You're happy that your side wins Saturday, and then Sunday your side lose. Yeah, and then they come back. Okay, so I'm just gonna, I'll keep my thoughts. But let's look at the standings in the English Premier League just before the end of the closure of round 10. So Liverpool, they're still leading the standings, 25 points. Man City, with their loss this morning, they are now 2 points behind Liverpool. Nottingham Forest, they're in third, and Arsenal is in fourth. If Chelsea wins tomorrow, they can go into third place. If Aston Villa loses, or rather, if Aston Villa wins tomorrow, they also can go into third place. So quite interesting in terms of what will happen in tomorrow's game. So, of course, next week we'll give you the update of what happened at the end of round 10 and, of course, what will happen in round 11. All right, so we skip quickly now to the Premier League, and that's our local Premier League. First of all, we want to say congratulations to Cavalier FC, who have reached to the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup by obliterating, defeating, totally destroying Mocha FC at home. And of course, Mocha, Cavalier, they won by 7-0 with quite a few. I mean, they had 4 players on the score sheet. 2 of those goals were penalties. But one of the things, I mean, it was a 7-0 victory for Cavalier. Having drawn with Mocha FC the week before, and this team is out of Dominican Republic, having drawn with Mocha FC before, I really thought that Mocha FC would have given Cavalier, I guess, more, I'm not going to say fighting chance, but I thought it was going to be a better matchup. But heard a press conference by Coach Rudolph Speed, and he spoke about heading to the Dominican Republic. They didn't really know anything about Mocha FC, and so when they went to the Dominican Republic, they were able to get, learn some tactics against the team, and so they kind of used that to be victorious in the week. My other thing was the incident that happened at halftime. I mean, you kind of understand, this team, I guess, because they drew with Cavalier in the Dominican Republic. I'm sure the players must have thought that they, would have been easy, or would have been an easy game for them, but it wasn't so. And based on the reports coming from the match, you see where the Mocha goalkeeper actually was going to be in a tussle with a Cavalier player, and the police kind of stepped in, and the player hit the police, and it kind of spiraled down from there, because then they ended the match, that's Mocha FC, with 9 men. And you don't really want to see these things at the Caribbean level or any level of football at all, but sometimes players allow their frustration to get the best of them, and hoping not to see anything like this happening in the future. So when I said congratulations to Cavalier, they will play Siabo in the finals of that Caribbean Cup, because and Siabo is another team out of the Dominican Republic. That Siabo team, they defeated Real Hope by 1-0. And of course, Cavalier has also qualified by virtue of making it to the finals of the Caribbean Cup. They qualify for the Champions Cup, so that's a good improvement, and we're very proud of this Cavalier team, who is still, yes, the youngest team in the Premier League. So we're very proud of them, very proud of their achievements so far. All right, so we're gonna look back at the results that happened in the Jamaica Premier League this week. And we're going to start. Yeah. All right. So let's look back on the matches. I mean, the matches were interesting. So we were at round 7. Yes, I believe of this Jamaica Premier League. Yes. Round 7, we saw Mullines United. They were defeated by One Love. So, well, they went down 1-0 to Humble Lion. Down Beholden, they beat Harborview 1-0. Mount Pleasant, they defeated Tivoli Gardens 1-0. Montego Bay and Portmore played to a 0-0 draw. Of course, the Arnett Gardens Cavalier game would have been postponed because Cavalier was playing in the Caribbean Cup. Chapelton Maroon, they ended their game with 9 men. They and Waterhouse, they played to a 1-0 draw, while Racing, they ended with 10 men. That ended in a 1-0 draw as well. And John Holding, they defeated Mount Pleasant with 10 men by 3 goals to 2. And then Chapelton and Arnett Gardens, they played to a 1-0 draw. And of course, there was another incident in terms of off the pitch. Well, it was during the game, but at the Chapelton Maroon Waterhouse game. And as I said, players getting hit, players letting emotions to get the best of them is something that we kind of have to look into. So I believe, the coaches, the managers, the teams, the clubs, they need to look into allowing the players, I guess I would say psychological or psychologists rather, on the teams to ensure that they can, the aggressiveness and all of that, because aggression is good if it's used in the right term. And when you're scaling fence to hit people because they've said something to you or thrown something at you, it's not good, and especially in a game that is televised, and in this age of social media where every single thing, somebody literally just picks up the phone and you can see what is happening. It just doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good on the club, the coaches, the players. It doesn't reflect good on anybody at all. And yeah, so we locally we did have one is in the local Premier League. We did have an incident in the Waterhouse Chapelton Maroons, and this week has been interesting because we had 4 red cards issued this week. So we had 2 from Chapelton, 1 from Racing, and 1 from the Holding. Yeah, not really the signs you want to see, coming from our local league. But I guess that is the reality of not having proper control sometimes. And as I said, the players will have to find another outlet other than what they're doing, because clearly this is not the legal way to do it. So yeah, I'm hoping that the different teams will invest in getting psychologists to speak to them. Proper anger management. Yes. We're going to go for our first break right here on Sports Talk, and we'll come back. We'll be talking about the games coming up in the Jamaica Premier League this week. We'll be right back.
When tooth diapers are difficult to change, it's time for Pampers Easy Up. They're easy to put on and take off, keeping their skin protected. When they begin to fall, changes are easy when they pass.
Love 101 invites you to set your day before it begins with midnight prayer and praise, Mondays at midnight. It's the third prayer watch, a period of much spiritual activity. You will be strengthened during this time of prayer and praise. Midnight prayer and praise is during the third watch of the night, the time to strengthen yourself spiritually and seek direction. Time to command your day. Midnight prayer and praise, Mondays at midnight through to 3 a.m. early Tuesday morning. 3 hours to set your day with prayers offered in each hour. Midnight prayer and praise is on the family station, Love 101.
To facilitate the broadcast of the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development Month National Church Service to be held on Sunday, November 3 at 10 a.m., the service from the Bethel Baptist Church, usually aired at 10 a.m., will be aired at 9 a.m. Thank you for sticking and staying with the family station, Love 101.
On Sunday, November 3, Love 101 will join the National Parenting Month Commission in the National Parenting Month Church Service. The service will be held at the Mountain View New Testament Church under the theme Surf Beyond the Surface. The service begins at 10 a.m. and Love 101 will bring you highlights at 11:30 with guest speaker Bishop Ralston Graham. It's Sunday, November 3, National Parenting Month Church Service. Service begins at 10 a.m. and you can hear highlights at 11:30 right here on the family station Love 101.
All right, welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. The name is Kathya. All right, so we are jumping to match week 8 in the Jamaica Premier League. And I'll tell you the games to come. So tomorrow, that's November 3, Harborview, they will play Racing United, and that happens at the Stadium East in the first of the doubleheader. That kicks off at 3 p.m. Tivoli Gardens will play Cavalier in the second match in that doubleheader, and that game kicks off at 5:30 p.m. Dunbeholden FC will play Chapelton Maroons. That game kickoff is at 3 p.m. and that will be held at the Dunbeholden Sports Complex. Humber Lion, they play Arnett Gardens at the Effortville Community Center, and that game kicks off at 3 p.m. Portmore United, they will face Malines United at Ferdinand Park, and that game kicks off at 3:30 p.m. And for Monday Night Football, there will be a doubleheader at the Waterhouse Mini Stadium. The first match will see Vere United taking on Mount Pleasant at 5, and Waterhouse, they will take on Montego Bay United at 7:30. All right, so those are the games coming up this week in the Jamaica Premier League. I also wanted to give you the point standing at the end of round 7. I do think Cavalier still have 2 games in hand because of the games that would have been postponed. Yeah, they have about 1 or 2 games in hand, but currently heading into round 8 or match week 8. Waterhouse currently leads the standing on 15 points. They have already played 8 games. Montego Bay, they have a game in hand. They're in second on 14 points. Mount Pleasant is on 13 points, same as Portmore United, with Mount Pleasant having a better goal difference. And at the bottom of the table currently, we have Racing United. They're in 13th place on 5 points, and Malines United, they're on 5 points. Of course, Racing has a better goal difference there. And it's still very close at the bottom because in terms of, and it's still early days in the Jamaica Premier League, but Arnett Gardens, they're in 6th place on 9 points, and the team that is in 14th place is on 5 points. So win a game, draw a game, lose a game, draw a game, and you can find yourself at the bottom of the table or outside of the relegation zone because the point standings right now are very close. And we did hear or anticipate that this will be a very close season in the Jamaica Premier League. And I mean, we're seeing it sort of coming to fruition right now. All right, so we're going to skip to some football. Still sticking with football, we're going to skip to some schoolboy football. And things have been heating up in both the ISA and Manning Cup. There are some teams, many-time champions, have been eliminated. And yeah, it's been interesting, but let's first look at the results from yesterday in the Manning Cup. We'll talk about those first, and then I will talk about the teams who have already qualified or who have qualified for the round of 16. And then we look at the games for today. We'll do the same for the Costa Cup. All right, so we're going to start with the results from yesterday in the Manning Cup. The first result was that Kingston College, they went down by a goal to nil to, I'm going to say Stats, yes. They lost to Stats yesterday, but that result did not benefit Stats. One, because Casey had already qualified for the round of 16, as well as, or rather, the quarterfinals. Casey had already qualified for the quarterfinals because they would have already won their first 2 games in Group 3, and Stats would have hoped that Wilmers and Hydel wouldn't have won, so that didn't quite pan out for them, and so qualifying from Group 3 would be Casey and Hydel. Right. So those are the teams that are qualified from Group 3. From Group 1, who will meet Group 3 in the quarterfinal round, will be Mona and Campion College. Mona, they defeated St. George's College by 3 goals to love, while Campion College yesterday, they were 1-0 winners over St. Jago. And so that's what's happening there. So far in the schoolboy football, we have Mona, Campion College, Excelsior, KC, Hydel, St. Catherine have all secured their spot so far in the final 8. And the games coming up today, we'll see, and I'll tell you. We'll see Excelsior, they will play Jonathan Grant. Eltham, they will play Tivoli Gardens. Charlie Smith will play Calabar. St. Catherine plays JC. And that group is rather interesting, or the groups. So let me give you the point standing in the groups now. Those are the 2 groups, Group 2 and Group 4. So Excelsior, they currently lead on 6 points. Tivoli, they're on 3 points. Eltham is on 3 points, and Jonathan Grant is yet to win. So Tivoli and Eltham, they both have their own fate in their hands. If the game draws, then it means on goal difference, it will be interesting. The goal difference is currently +3, +2 in favor of Tivoli. So Tivoli, if Tivoli draws 1-1, 2-1, whatever, then Tivoli will go through. Eltham wins, Eltham goes through. If Tivoli wins, Tivoli goes through. So a draw or win for Tivoli sees Tivoli through. A win for Eltham sees Eltham through. And as I said, Excelsior has already qualified from that zone. All right, let's move now to our group, rather. Group 4 sees St. Catherine. They have already secured their place in the quarterfinals. They're on 6 points. JC, they're on 4 points. Calabar is on 1, and Charlie Smith is on 0. No, St. Catherine will play JC. And really and truly, JC just needs a draw to go through. JC loses, and Calabar wins. Calabar will have to beat Charlie Smith by quite a number of goals, because the goal difference is +5 -2. So JC needs to draw against St. Catherine, but if they lose against St. Catherine, it cannot be a big loss, like, kind of wipeout type of thing. That being said, Calabar, if they win against Charlie Smith, it needs to be a big win for them to go through to the quarterfinal round. So of course, all the teams that would lose in this quarterfinal round will play the first round of the Walker Cup, and then the losers all the team that loses in the round of 16, they will play the first round of the Walker Cup, and the losers in the quarterfinal, or those 4 teams that didn't qualify for the the semifinals of the Manning Cup, they will join the other 8 teams, or these 8 teams, or the 8 teams that did not progress to the quarterfinals in that Walker Cup competition. All right. Of note, team St. George's College, many times champion St. George's College, has been eliminated from the Manning Cup, having lost both against Campion and against Mona. Of course, Campion makes it to the quarterfinals of the Manning Cup. So that's probably the biggest news coming out of the Manning Cup this week. Let's move now to the DaCosta Cup as I tell you what's happening there. I first give you the games today. Alphonsus Davis, they'll play Garvey Maceo. Kemps Hill plays Stets. Clarendon College plays Cornwall College in a very important match for Clarendon College. Froome Tech plays Monroe. Ocho Rios, they play Dintil. Happy Grove, they play Glenmuir. Manchester High plays Belair. Central plays McGraw. And I just want to say that all the football games, they kick off at 3 p.m. today. So if you want to go watch some schoolboy football, you have a little time to get to the different venues to do so. And then I also wanted to update you on the standings in the DaCosta Cup, telling you which teams would have qualified so far for the quarterfinals of the DaCosta Cup. But before I do that, the interesting thing about schoolboy football this year is that usually this round of 16, as they call it, the 32, how you normally get to the last 8 is usually you play a home and a game match, and then the team progresses on aggregates. I mean, yes, this is giving the boys more football, but this, I mean, to have it like this, so the you had the first round in groups, top 2 and the best 3rd place finishers qualifying. Then now you have another group with the top 2 qualifying for the quarterfinals. Then again, they're going to play in another set of groups where the top 2 teams of each group will qualify for the semifinals. I just don't know that I don't know. I don't know if I like this format. I mean, yeah, as I said, the boys are getting more play time, but this group to group to group, it's almost like, I mean, it's a kind of run out of ideas on how to format the competition this year. I find it very interesting. I'm not sure what did not work last year for them to come to this type of formatting, and because there are more teams in the DaCosta Cup, then they play first round, then they play a group round, then they play 3 group rounds before they get to the semifinals. That's kind of crazy to me. Kind of crazy. I mean, I feel like one of these rounds could have been, which is this particular round, the round of 16, it could have been a home and a game, a home and away match, because it means that the teams that have been playing one, because it's 4 groups, so it means that you only can play 3 times. I mean, yes, it's really eliminating one match, but boy, this just seems to be a lot of matches in, I don't know, and especially with some of the players playing in the Jamaica Premier League, I don't know, just seem to me to be a lot of games. But we'll talk about the point standings of the DaCosta Cup. We're going to go for our second break right here on Sports Talk. We'll be right back.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
Every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. on Love 101. You're invited to listen to The Revival of Truth with Bishop Augustine Odie. There is life beyond the surface, life that is divine, life that is eternal, and you can hear the truth of God's word and go deeper in purpose. Revival of Truth with Bishop Augustine Odie, Sundays 2:30 to 3 p.m. on the family station, Love 101.
To facilitate the broadcast of the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development Month National Church Service to be held on Sunday, November 3 at 10 a.m., the service from the Bethel Baptist Church, usually aired at 10 a.m., will be aired at 9 a.m. Thank you for sticking and staying with the family station, Love 101.
On Sunday, November 3, Love 101 will join the National Parenting Month Commission in the National Parenting Month Church Service. The service will be held at the Mountain View New Testament Church under the theme Surf Beyond the Surface. The service begins at 10 a.m. and Love 101 will bring you highlights at 11:30 with guest speaker Bishop Ralston Graham. It's Sunday, November 3, National Parenting Month Church Service. Service begins at 10 a.m. and you can hear highlights at 11:30 right here on the family station Love 101.
All right, welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. And we are continuing our discussion as it relates to the ISA, the Costa Cup competition. And then we're going to talk about the teams who have already qualified for the what's this now, quarterfinal round. So I'm going through in terms of the groups. In the group, the group with Stex, Kemps Hill, and Garvey Maceo, Alphonsus Davis. That's zone 1 rather. Stex, they're currently on 4 points. Kemps Hill, they're on 4 points, and these are all, of course, these teams will close out these groups today. Garvey Maceo, they're on 2 points, and Alphonsus Davis, they're basically eliminated now from the competition, having lost. So Kemps Hill, they will play. Kemps Hill and Stets will play, so that means they will have their own. They really will have their own fate in their hands. If Garvey Maceo defeats Alphonsus Davis and Kemps Hill loses to Stets, then it will be Garvey Maceo and Stets that goes through. Stets, they really only need a draw to go through. If they lose, they need to avoid defeat to go through, because if they lose against Kemps Hill and Garvey Maceo beats Alphonsus Davis, then it will be Garvey Maceo and Kemps Hill that goes through. If it is that the game ends in a draw, Stets and Kemps Hill, then it will go down to goal difference. It means that Garvey Maceo would have to defeat Alphonsus Davis by at least 6 goals, depending on the draw with Stets and Kemps Hill to go through. All right, let's move on now to Zone 2. Monroe, they have already qualified for the quarterfinals. In their zone, there is Frome, Clarendon College, and Cornwall College. Now, Monroe and Frome will play, and for Frome to go through, they would need at least a draw to advance to the quarterfinals. Avoid defeat and at least a draw to qualify. For Clarendon College, they must win and anticipate that Monroe is going to beat Frome, which is going to be interesting because if you know Clarendon College, they are the defending champions. Yes, they are the defending champions in the DaCosta Cup. So the defending champions are in a very, very precarious position today in the DaCosta Cup. So, right. So Cornell College, they've already been eliminated, having lost 2 games. So Clarendon College have to win big against Cornwall and hope that Monroe beats Frome, or if that game ends in a draw, they have to anticipate or hope rather, that Monroe will beat Frome. So interesting position there for the defending champions. The other finalists last year, I believe it was Glenmuir. They have already qualified for the quarterfinals. You want to say round of 16, but it's really the quarterfinals of the ISA Boys DaCosta Cup. That's what we're talking about. In that group, we also have Ortorios, Dintil, and Happy Grove. Happy Grove in 4th place. They've lost 2 games, so they're automatically out of. They have no chance of making. What gets interesting is that Ortorios and Dintil, they will play each other. And if the game, both teams, let's see. Good. So both teams are on 3 points with Ortorios having a better goal difference. So if Dintil wins, they go through. If Ortorios wins, they go through. If the game ends in a draw, Ortorios goes through. So Ortorios, they will just have to avoid defeat to go through, while Dintil, they have to win to go through. And in the final zone of the round of 16 in the DaCosta Cup, Central, they've already made it through to, so this group is basically finished because Central and McGrath, having won their first 2 games, have qualified for the quarterfinals, which means that Denby and Manchester High have been eliminated. So that's it for as it relates to the DaCosta Cup, and of course we will be able to give you the updates next week Saturday as to who the quarterfinalists are in the both, or confirmed quarterfinalists, both in the Manning Cup and the Costa Cup. So yeah, schoolboy football it gets very interesting at this stage, because when it is that day, and I guess maybe this is why ISA keeps doing groups or more groups, because this have to win, defeat, loss type of thing. The competition gets interesting there. I guess if it's just a one-off game, then the winner or loser. The winner or go home. So I guess the groups keep our minds ticking and keep us, going as it relates to the results and having to watch this game or listen to this game. And of course, I said all the games in the ISA Manning and Acosta Cup, they kick off at 3 p.m. with some teams having their fate in their hands, and some teams, their fate have already been decided before they even kick the ball today. That was the ISA Acosta Cup Manning Cup update. And of course, we look forward to what will come. I'm sure after this, then we will see happenings in terms of the Walker Cup and the Ben Francis Cup starting in terms of the first round. So that will be interesting as well. All right, we're going to skip forward. Well, we're going to skip quickly to some cricket. Lovely cricket. The West Indies, they are currently playing England, and I will give you the update on the score, and then we will talk about the match, the first game in the in this series, right? So let's go to that. In the first game in this series, I told you I was going to give you the scores first. So West Indies, they made 328 for 6 of their 50 overs, and England, they're currently 73 for 2 of 13.5 overs. All right. So the first of this 3-day ODI would have it started with West Indies defeating England in a very interesting Duckworth Lewis method type of game. And, funny enough, because I was having a conversation with a friend just Thursday, and I was saying, for some reason, we are not able to understand. And if there's anybody out there that would love to explain how the Duckworth Lewis system works, I'd love to know, because every time I was explaining to my friend that every single time I think I know how to work it out, or I think I know how the math works, it just never comes out to be what I thought it was going to be. And I was like, yeah, why have a system that you really can't calculate? And, you just depending on what somebody to crunch numbers in real time. But looking back at the match, the West Indies would have defeated England by 8 wickets. And that was in the first ODI, which was a day and night match. England batted first. They made 209 all out of 45.1 overs. West Indies, in reply, they made 157 for 2, which I believe was a revised, because it started raining in Antigua. No surprise there. I mean, it's always raining in Antigua. But it started raining after the England. No, actually, it rained before. No, all right. After England completed their innings, it started to rain. Then the West Indies started to bat, and then it started to rain. And so we moved to a revised total, to a further revised total. Which is crazy to me. But let's see, in terms of West Indies bowling in that first, Matthew Ford, he was able to pick up 3 wickets of 9 overs for 48 runs. And Jaden Seals and Ruston Chase, they had a wicket apiece. In terms of the scores, in terms of the batting for the West Indies, Brandon King made 30 off 56. Evan Lewis, he made 94 off 69. And other contributions, Casey Carter making 19 from 20, and Shea Hope making 6 from 10. So the West Indies, again, they won that first match in the series. The second match in the series, as I said, the West Indies, I gave you the scores earlier, they made 328 for 6. And let me tell you, people, because, the truth is, with the West Indies, you don't know what you're getting. Because I do believe this morning, when the game started, and let me tell you, West Indies, they were 63 or 30, some low score. And I was like, I am not going to watch this, because this is gonna waste my time. We were 12 for 2, and at that point I was like, yeah, I'm not sure if I was gonna watch a game, because I don't know, it's a hit or miss. But they mustered up 328 for 8, which is fantastic. We had half century, so Casey Carter, the opening batsman, they never made any runs today. Brandon King made 7, Evan Lewis made 4. Okay. Casey Carter, he made 71 from 77. Shea Hope, Captain Shea Hope, batting in number 4. That's something I want to talk about. He made his century, 117 from 127. Shafeen Rutherford contributed again with the bat. Can we now call him Mr. Reliable as it relates to the runs? We'll see. Give him some more innings. 54 from 36. Shema Hetmeyer comes back into the squad. 24 from 11. Ruston Chase made 20 from 22. And Matthew Ford made 23 from 11. Now let's talk about Shea Hope, because Shea Hope is now the captain. And it is interesting because for me, Shea Hope is probably the number 1 batsman now in the West Indies. Him batting at number 4 is very interesting. But we're going to go for a break, and we're going to talk some more about that when we come back.
to facilitate the broadcast of the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development Month National Church Service to be held on Sunday, November 3 at 10 a.m. The service from the Bethel Baptist Church, usually aired at 10 a.m., will be aired at 9 a.m. Thank you for sticking and staying with the family station, Love 101.
On Sunday, November 3, Love 101 will join the National Parenting Month Commission in the National Parenting Month Church Service. The service will be held at the Mountain View New Testament Church under the theme Surf Beyond the Surface. The service begins at 10 a.m. and Love 101 will bring you highlights at 11:30 with guest speaker Bishop Ralston Graham. It's Sunday, November 3, National Parenting Month Church Service. Service begins at 10 a.m. and you can hear highlights at 11:30 right here on the family station, Love 101.
When teeth diapers are difficult to change, it's time for Pampers Easy Up. They're easy to put on and take off, keeping their skin protected. Changes are easy.
Beulah Pentecostal Temple 27-29 Olympic Week, Kingston 11, with host pastor Michael and evangelist Dr. Pamela Gray, presents the 60th church anniversary service on Sunday, November 3, starting at 3:30 p.m. with guest speaker Dr. Lyndon Johnson under the theme, "Today the Lord bless us, see what the Lord hath done," followed by 5 nights of evangelistic services, November 4 to November 8, 7 p.m. nightly, with speakers Elder E. Brown, Elder O. Pusey, Pastor G. Daly, Pastor D. Stennis, and Minister R. Solan. A warm welcome awaits you.
All right, welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. We are in our final segment of the show. Can't find the words there. All right, so we were talking about the West Indies. They're playing England in a 3-match ODI series, having won the first match. The second is happening now, and England, they're now 81 for 2 off 15.4 overs. All right, so I was talking about Shea Hope batting at number 4. I'd love to see Shea Hope opening with Evan Lewis and maybe pushing down Brandon King to number 3, or Brandon and Shea Hope opening and pushing down Evan Lewis to number 3. I don't know. I'd love to see him open the innings and setting the pace. As I said, I think right now Shea Hope is, in my opinion, the best batsman. Normally, you probably have him at number 3. For him to be playing in number 4, I mean, Casey Carter is, I guess, doing an okay job in the number 3, but I'd love to see him opening or coming in at number 3 to stabilize the innings. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. Some feedback. Caroline says that the schoolboy football is sweet. Yes, Caroline, and I am very much looking forward to the rest of this schoolboy football season. I don't know, I guess because they're, I think, still undefeated. Are they? Mona, still undefeated. Yes. So they still are favorites. I mean, they're playing like favorites. Let's just say that. But we will see what will happen officially, that whether it would be Group 1 or Group 2 or Zone A or Zone B in the quarterfinal round. We'll see KC, Mona, Campion, and Heidel, which is always very interesting to me. But we will see what will happen in that group. Of course, the top 2 teams will qualify from that group. Yes, so yeah, West Indies, not doing too bad. I mean, as I said, with how they started this morning was very, very shaky. And I was like, oh, we're gonna bat first and the innings is gonna tumble and it's gonna be crazy. But they made over 300. I'm very proud of them. I'm very proud of them because sometimes you, as I said, you don't know what you're gonna get with West Indies. They're definitely not a team that you can set on your pot for. Maybe that used to be in the 90s and before, but no, in the 2000s, don't bother set your pot on for West Indies because you don't know what you're gonna get. Because you can have a fantastic batting performance and the bowlers do nothing, and vice versa. So yeah. Also happening in cricket, the CG United Super 50 has been taking place, and of course we know this is almost like a round robin type of thing. You know, everybody will, it's 7 teams, everyone will play everyone, and then 8 teams, and then they will qualify there on. So let's see the matches or some of the games that happened. Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. I'm not going to try to remember how the end the names are, but Trinidad and Tobago, they defeated the combined campuses by 60 runs. Scores in that match: Trinidad and Tobago 194, combined colleges and campuses they made 134 all out. Guyana, let me just do this because the Windward Islands Volcanoes beat the Guyana Harpy Eagles, interesting, by 1 wicket. Scores in that match: Windward Islands, they made 277 for 9. And in reply, Guyana made 274 for 5. Or was it the other way around? I'm sure that was, yes. The Guyana, they batted first, and in reply, the Windward Islands, they made 277 for 9. Other results: the Leeward Islands Hurricane beat the West Indies Academy by 142 runs. Scores in that match: the Leeward Islands Hurricanes, batting first, made 236 for 7, while they bundled out the West Indies Academy for 94. And then in the first match, the first match for the Jamaica Scorpions, the Barbados Pride, they defeat the Jamaica Scorpions by 69 runs. Scores in that match would have seen the Barbados making 285 for 7. And am I reading? No. They made 260 for 8, and Jamaica, they were bowled out for 199. The match against the combined campuses and colleges versus Guyana, that match was abandoned. And then the Barbados Pride, they defeated Hurricanes by 3 wickets. Scores in that match: the Barbados Hurricanes, they made 285 for 7, and in reply, or the Leeward Islands, they made 284 for 5, and in reply, Barbados made 287. And then we had the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. They beat the Windward Island Volcanoes by 7 wickets. Scores in that match saw the Windward Islands making 182. And in reply, Trinidad and Tobago, they got to 186. And currently happening, I do believe that this match has been interrupted because of rain. Jamaica, they posted 250 of 48.1 overs, and that's 250 all out. And then in reply, the Windward Islands, they are 89 for 3. So, I mean, it's just really 2 games or 1 or 2 games played. Barbados, they're currently leading the standings, and the Windward Islands, they're at the bottom of the standings with Jamaica having not won a game so far. So we'll keep you posted as it relates to the CG United Super 50. Boy, the Scorpions, sometimes I don't know. Scorpions or West Indies? Which one of the team is worse? Which one of the team is worse, Scorpions or West Indies? You guys tell me. 997-3125. Which one gives you more heartache? Because I'm trying to decide. Sometimes, I don't know. I think the Scorpions and the West Indies, they find themselves in the same category as far as I am concerned, honestly, because you just can't put your pot on fire for these teams. You just wish that you get good performances from them, but you just do not know. You do not know what team, how they're going to turn up. You just don't know. You don't know what you're going to get. Them just in for the surprises all the time. Right? We know that our netballers, they have departed the island for the Fast 5 series in Christchurch, New Zealand. So we look forward, and I think it's about, they have to travel they'll travel back in time to travel forward in time. It's always interesting when people have to travel to that side of the world, because you go to the US and then, you kind of you technically miss a day, because if they leave Tuesday, let's say they leave Tuesday night, Jamaica time, they'll reach New Zealand Wednesday night, Jamaica time. So you almost miss 12 hours of a particular day. Very, very interesting when that happens. But yeah, so the team has departed, and of course we will be keeping you posted as it relates to the games we will be playing and how those games will end. So looking forward to, of course, the remainder of the football for the English Premier League in terms of the round. The game tomorrow definitely would be the featured game tomorrow definitely would be Manchester United versus Chelsea. And of course, the Jamaica Premier League, I always say let's go out and support our local football. But even before we get to tomorrow, remember that schoolboy football is on. Games are here, there, and everywhere, both in the Manning and Acosta Cup. All those games, they kick off at 3 o'clock. And then going back to my support of the Jamaica Premier League, games are somewhat across the island. Effortville and Ferdinand Park on Sunday, and Waterhouse Mini Stadium on Monday. The Stadium East tomorrow afternoon, into take the family out, go watch some football, support the local league. And of course, this has been Sports Talk. We do this every Saturday between the hours of 1 to 2 p.m. right here on the family station. Remember, you can also listen to the show by downloading the Love 101 FM app in the App Store or the Google Play Store, and you can listen to the show as a podcast. Until then, keep safe, stay dry, because I hear that it's cats and dogs outside. Yes, and have a good weekend until we meet next week. Bye-bye.